Many popular Linux distributions use a rolling release model, which releases an update version every 6 months or so. This is true for both Fedora and Ubuntu. When I first started using Linux a few years ago, I would go for the most recent version of the distro, which was the rolling release. I started to notice when following tutorials online, they weren't always working for me exactly as they stated inside the tutorial. I eventually learned this is because they are typically based on the LTS or the long term support version, which are commonly supported for anywhere from about 3 to 5 years. When I realized this, I thought to myself, well, what version am I on? After some digging, I was able to figure out, and today I'm going to share with you how. This is B from Tay Talk Tech, and today I'm going to show you 2 commands to get information about your distro. Stick with me. I've got a favor to ask. If you like this type of video and want to see more content like it, make sure you are subscribed and hit the bell button for notifications. Also, don't forget to give this video a like if you like it. Let me know what you liked, didn't like, or if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or emotional outbursts down in the comment section below. And lastly, make sure you stick around all the way to the end to get the most out of this video. Let's do this thing. All right, so let me go ahead and switch over to the desktop. So we're going to be using both, I'm going to be doing some examples in both Ubuntu as well as Fedora. So I've got two of those two SSH sessions opened up here. Oops. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start with start in Ubuntu. The command that we're going to be using today for the first one is going to be lsb release and a. Now you're probably like, well, what's lsb release? Let's find out. All right. So let's go back to the, oops. Let's do a what is. All right. Perfect. And we did a what is on LSB release, and it prints distribution specific information. Now, I've done a video previously on the what is command, so go check that out if you want more information, but essentially it just gives us a brief explanation of what a command does. Now, with this particular command, LSB release, I actually like the output because it's more concise than the second command that we're going to be talking about today. But everybody's got their preferences, depending on what information that you like having and knowing and things like that. So let's go ahead and go back to the command that we're talking about here. We're going to do LSB release, and then we're going to do TAC A. Now, the TAC A option, what that's going to do is that's going to go ahead and allow us to show all information in regards to the distribution. So let's go ahead and actually execute this command. Perfect. And we can see here, we have the, this is Ubuntu. We got the distributor ID. We've got the description here, which is Ubuntu 22.04.2 LTS. There's that LTS designation there. If this was not an LTS, it would not have the LTS there. And then the release is going to be 22.04, and then the code name is Jammy, which is, just how they refer to it. And, they come up with different kinds of code names for every single release. Now, let's switch over to Fedora. We're going to do LSB release. We're going to do TAC A. And wait, what? It says it's not found. But it's giving me the option to go ahead and install the package Red Hat LSB Core. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit no here, because I just want to show you how you can do that just, from the command line, because you're going to have to install that additional package in order for this to work on Red Hat. So let's just do sudo dnf install Red Hat LSB and then core. All right, we're going to put our password in. Perfect. There we go. It's going to install some other stuff. Shouldn't take too long for that, and it's already done. So cool. Let's go ahead and clear that out so we can get back to the top, and then we're going to run an LSB release, and then we're going to do TAC A. Perfect. Now, there we go, and we can see here it pretty much gives us the same information. The difference here is that it's giving us the LSB version, which it didn't give us over here. Just depending on the distribution, is that the information may be just slightly different, but we've got all the same information for this one. Just one piece of additional. Now, I do want to let you know that as far as Red Hat goes, the actual Red Hat line of distributions, this does not work in Red Hat 9, which is their most current version. That's the one that I actually use pretty much for most of my systems, is Red Hat 9. So that's not something that you'll be able to do, but you will be able to use this method on Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. Keep in mind that we're going to have the second command, so don't fret. You're going to have an option, so don't stress too much. All right, so yeah, we've got both of those done now. Let's go ahead and clear this out, and we're going to go ahead and move on to that second command. Now, this is I don't always like using the term command, because command implies that it's a specific only use for this type of command. And this one is a super easy command. And it's not even more that you need to know the command. You need to know where what file on the system is going to give you the information on your distribution. So we're actually going to use the cat command for this, and we're going to do the etc OS, and then we're going to do release, which is going to give us information on our operating system release. And there we go. And we can see here, clearly this has way more information. But, you know, if you look at it, it's like, well, that looks like a system generated file. So it's not as clean as the doing it the other way. So I like this one better just because most of the time, this is all I really need when I'm needing information about my distribution. You know, because sometimes you just, especially like when I'm using a Kali machine, is because they're on a rolling release. You know, it's been a little while. And I'm like, okay, well, let me see like, you know, what version I'm on. And, you know, especially if I know that, you know, maybe there's a possibility that the version there's a newer version of it. So that, you know, that's when, you know, this kind of stuff comes in handy. And there's going to be lots of different needs that are going to come up as you're working. You want to make sure that if you want to make sure that everything is on the same distribution version, this is going to be your go-to command. So it's great. And this works on both systems, right? Or, well, both of these will be your go-to command, but this command works on both systems. We go over here, cat etc OS release, and then there we go. Again, we're getting more information on this one than we did over here, but again, it's going to kind of vary depending on the distribution that you're working with, and also, so just keep that in mind. And it actually here, it's super helpful because it also gives us the support in, which is 11.14.2023, which is pretty helpful. So pretty cool, right? Now you know where to find information about your distribution. If you like this video, make sure you check out this other video from my channel. Remember, mistakes make you better, so keep making them. Thank you so much for watching my video, and have the greatest of days.